Welcome back. It is now turn 26. I got a white mage, a sorcerer, Bakuman of sorcerer, who got some good bots, so I had him cast twice for him. That way he comes back as a white mage if he were to die. Did some side searching, didn't go anywhere. Jotunheim attacked his throne. I haven't been attacking any thrones myself because they're usually well defended by wizards. These are not so powerful. These, however, can definitely cast something. This one at least. I didn't know these were crossbears. What did she cast? Polyterial swarm. Huh, okay. Yeah. These Jotuns, they don't look so tough, but they are tough to deal with if you're up against them in a battle like this. So, then I'm just clearing out some independents now that I'm pretty much done with Pangea. So there was a battle in Rimmeyer. This is just a standard Bakuman alignment. This sorcerer was already on his way, so he might as well join in. Tsune is the one I'm sending into the water soon. Let's see, 42 fatigue. 56 fatigue, yes, so because he's dead 4 and the skeletons are dead 2 spell, I believe the amount of fatigue is divided by 3, so he can actually cast it a lot of times. Now, if he were to become a white mage and give him a skull staff, he could pretty much cast it forever. The off-script casting is always a bit funny. He cast Legions of Steel on a bunch of soulless that he summoned. I don't know why they do that, but... Okay, and then there was a battle in Black Alps. This is, I think, an archer army, also fighting independents. Oh yes. I really like this formation. Put some armored archers in the front, and then you have some undisciplined cheap archers behind them to increase the volume of fire. Oh, and this guy didn't cast flaming arrows because the enemy is too weak, but he has a free gem. I wish they fixed that, but they don't. At least they haven't. Barbarian Commander Berserk started walking back. Yeah, I don't think so. barbarians do not like arrows. Okay, unexpected event in Misty Bog. Many commoners are volunteering to serve in the militia. Defense plus 15. Well, since I already put a little bit of province defense everywhere, this event is quite good. An unexpected event in Great Feral. A sectarian movement. So I should probably patrol in the Great Feral. Let's have a look actually. Oh, but this wasn't in my dominion anyway. Do I care? Don't think I do. I suppose I could send Goku over and just go preach here somewhere. I really don't care. What I should do, however, is put Goku behind the line and put his archers maybe here. So yeah, this army that you just saw fight, Goku the Prophet, they are going to Fields of Gold in case Pangea tries to make a comeback. At least until I can build a fort here. Also, Jotunheim is looking a bit threatening now. They are fighting Nazca, so they probably won't attack me, but you never know. Also want to build a fort here because it's a cave, and Shinuyama loves caves, even though it's too little population. The income here is bad. With a good fort in it, it might still be a nice province for a fort. And it's also a choke point. Once my dominion gets here, it will get heat. You can't walk across the river anymore. And then Jotunheim, if they want to attack me through here, they should go through the cave, which will cost a lot of movement. And then if there's a fort there, it's going to be very annoying for them to go through. And the other option in, of course, is Fields of Gold. So I should put a fort in Fields of Gold, and I should put a fort in Caves of Mira. However, forts cost 600 gold, and right now I have 47 gold, so maybe I should stop recruiting Bakemono sorcerers at some point, although I'm only recruiting them out of Verdant's set now. But for now, I really like getting Bakemono sorcerers, because the guy that just costs Twiceborn, this guy, Toshikazu, I'm just gonna rename you. You're now Toshiba. Toshiba was also a dead 4, and I gave him a skull staff, and now he's a dead 5, which apparently gives you a fair hour. I didn't even know that. But more importantly, it allows him to summon a lot of skeletons. A serious amount of skeletons will be summoned by him. And looking at it, I would like to own another flask. And even though my hammers are currently being used to create more hammers, 2 extra gems isn't that bad, and I want to have 2 flasks next turn, one for Toshiba and one for Tsune. Also recruiting, no, I'm not recruiting, but I have a few of these. They are going with Tsune basically as a distraction in order to take this water province, because I was considering sending him in without any support, but I doubt he's actually gonna be able to pull that off. Toru is going back to Florian, and then if nothing else happens, he will come up here and help with Pythium. The other commanders, I recruited 2 of these Bakemono generals and gave all the units that were here to them. Lord Green Harbor is still gonna transport to Shinuyama because he cannot reach the verdant step, and I find it easier to do it like this, and then Lord Verdant Green is basically gonna be moving this way instead of this way, so he's gonna be picking up troops here and dropping them off here. He can actually wait for one turn. And Sir Baron Craigs, who used to be transporting troops from the Baron Craigs to Shinuyama, is now going to transport them to the Verdant Steppe. Then in Verdant Steppe I can soon get more Bakemono generals and stage invasion forces from there. Alright, that's all that's going on in turn 26. See you in turn 27. It is turn 27. No battles this turn, but I'm starting a war on the next, so that should have something interesting going on. We got a crippled unit that died, not much we can do about it. Proclamation from Jotunheim. They have a new prophet. Tredel, Prince of Insects, Patron of Herbalists. But that's the pretender name. This guy is gonna be the prophet, but I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. And we had an unexpected event in Varan. We got a handful of acorns. I think that might be useful to an assassin at some point, but I haven't really been using the assassin so far because I haven't really been making a lot of items yet because I didn't have hammers, but now I do. I'm making one more hammer. I didn't have enough earth gems for two more. Then here the hammers are being used to make equipment for, let's see, this guy is gonna need some equipment, and then probably Toru as well. He has tough skin. Yeah, I guess I could give some equipment to Toru, and then instead of recruiting another Shutsudoyu, I could recruit a general, which means nothing actually. The difference only 15 gold. Anyway, I'm gonna equip two Shutsundoi with the lion pelts and coral blade. This makes them resilient enough to fight province defense reliably. As long as they don't run into a big army, they should be absolutely fine like that. And this will cost me 6 gems and 100 gold per. So that's 200 gold, 12 gems. Gives you something that can take a province. But that will take at least one more turn, possibly two, before I can show that. So this turn I am sending an army into Karnach. What's coming in is 80 of these Bakemono archers and 80 Dai Bakemono archers as a front line. I put them in this weird formation because these guys here further back are in a sparse line which has gaps. This guy and later this guy will be summoning skeletons. The skeletons will stream through the gaps towards the front. At least that's the idea. I do not have anyone who can cast flaming arrows, so this army is gonna be without flaming arrows. However, Pythium has cold dominion, so flaming arrows wouldn't be very effective anyway. In case archery isn't very good, because they do have the big Roman shields, Toru is following close behind with 79 Bakuman Show under his command. So if this doesn't work, we still have these guys with weapons, and we will have Bakuman Show to attempt to use. I can also create a lot more skeletons. Poison will probably be ineffective against them. Fire might still be tried. I could even try Earth Elementals, since I have an Earth income of 7 now. Water Elementals will turn into Ice Elementals. But I'm probably way overthinking it, because I am going to attack for 6 provinces, so this is probably over way before that. But if it doesn't work out and I get pushed back, they're gonna have to push past this fort first, because I haven't taken these places on purpose, so that they won't have maneuverability there. And then I'll have plenty of times to make a response to whatever they can throw at me. I do think they have quite a few troops. I can actually see that here, because I have this magic site Birdsong Tower, which reveals mundane score graphs. So I can go to statistics, score graphs. Usually you wouldn't be able to do this, but I have the one thing that let me do it. So this is my army size, and this is his army size. Now my army is a bit out of position, because these guys are still standing around here in case I get attacked from another direction. But even with this army and this army, I think it would be enough. And I will soon have more archers, assuming that the archer strategy works. So I think I'm good either way. That's it for turn 27. See you in turn 28. Okay, turn 28. The war against Pythium has begun. Let's start with the battle there. So. I was worried that these Romans with their shields would block a lot of arrows, and they probably do. However, they can't block all the arrows. Meanwhile, Toshiba, the Bakuman sorcerer with his 5 dead level, is sending a lot of undead through this grate of Bakumonos, slowing down the advance of the Roman army. Or the Pythian army, I should say. Which gives the archers more time to shoot at them, as long as they're fighting long range. And at this closer range, they don't really miss a lot. They do eventually get to the archers, but this guy has been casting Legions of Steel on the archers, which makes their armor, I think, 2 extra armor per armor part, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this guy got it. So I think the default is lower, and he now has 18 at his body and 20 at his head. Now let's grab one that's more on the side. This one got 15. Oh, so it's +3. Yeah. So that reduces basically any attacks that hit them by 3. Now their priests tried to take out some of the long dead and Solas, and they did. It just wasn't enough. So they got chased off the field with most of my army intact. Yeah, I lost 3 of the big ones and 1 of the small ones, and they lost 74 troops. Now, this is the AI. A player would definitely do better in this situation, but the battle deacons got most of the kills because they use pre-spells to take the undead down. So yeah, this works. I don't have the strange strategy here. This wouldn't work against Jotunheim, for instance, but it apparently works fine against PTM, regardless of the shields. There was also a battle in White Water where I sent a Bakamon Sorcerer underwater. Don't worry, I cast twice more on him first. So, if he dies, he comes back as an upkeep 3 white mage. So yeah, he creates a lot of skeletons. Other than that, an unexpected event in Verdant Steppe. Rumors of your might have swept the province, and a group of loud-mouthed Bakemono show praising your greatness has joined your armies. We'll look at those in a moment. Then a patrolling group in Fields of Gold killed some brigands. I didn't have any other jobs for them. And my troops in Karnak, which I just invaded, started to starve. So apparently Pythium has death scales. And these places don't have a lot of supplies. Now, because of the supply situation, there are 200 supplies and I'm using 201 of them. So that means 1 troop out of all of this is starting to starve, and I don't think the commanders ever starve first, so it's not a big deal. And next turn will be in Pythium because I'm going straight through. And there's definitely going to be enough food in Pythium, so it's not a problem. Now, Tsune, who was taking the underwater, is just moving on to these Atlanteans. Considered going into the Shark tribe, but Atlanteans are slower, so he will have more time to summon skeletons before they hit. And these Tritons are 40 of them, so this seemed like the easiest option. He might very well die, but at least I've taken 1 underwater province, which makes it a lot easier to go for the other ones after that. The recruitment type here is mermen, who are amphibians, so I could recruit a bunch of mermen and use them on land later. But I think my kappas are actually better. They have 2 weapons. They recuperate. They're not good on land, but underwater they're quite good. Well, they are okay on land because they have 15 protection for 1 resource. Because the protection is their shell, so you don't actually use any metal to make it. They are good. But I wouldn't want to build a bunch of kappas to use on land with this build because I have plenty of productivity. Maybe with a low productivity build they would be viable. I've never tried actually. Alright, that is it for turn 28. It is turn 29 and we're starting with a battle in the Great Blue. So here we have, where is he? Here. Here we have Tsune, the Bakemono Sorcerer, who is twice born and is gonna create some skeletons for us. Now, these are a little bit more Atlanteans than I expected. And they don't seem very impressed by my Twiceborn. By my, what are they called? Longhead. Low attack, low defense skill, they're poor amphibians, so kind of to be expected. And the Atlanteans beat right through them. And get to Tsuno, unfortunately. It happens. Then there's the Battle of Pitium. This is basically the same thing all over. Yeah, these are velites, they're not even good troops. They get distracted by the skeletons. But my archers run out of ammo and go into melee anyway. So yeah, even though the shields are quite effective, they are not as effective against a 26 damage Nodachi. And their 15 damage short swords just aren't enough to reliably do any damage against this protection. So that's why this happens. Maybe in much greater numbers Roman troops would be okay, but not like this. Then there's a battle in Karnak, and then there's also the war between those two. So Pitium counterattacks me in Karnak. Very small force, but doing something like this isn't a bad idea. Unfortunately for him, the Shutsendoye area. And this is a strategy I really like. It takes very low commitment to do this. If your enemy deploys a counter, you'll lose them, of course, but there's something you can afford to lose. So yeah, those two guys are 200 gold. That's 8 of the big archers. Now, if I wanted to put an army here to secure the province, I would have to commit a lot more gold and troops and commanders to lead them in order to secure it. So I would end up splitting my armies, and I don't even have the infrastructure to recruit that many troops. So this way, however, I can take or hold a province without committing a bunch of troops to it. An unexpected event occurred in Lish, -2 Dominion. It's those sectarians again. However, I think this was Pangea's Dominion as well, so whatever. And Tsuna came back as a white mage, but unfortunately he got the worst affliction he could have gotten. Mute. Halved magic skills. Yeah, he's pretty useless for now. Fortunately for me, once my god comes out of imprisonment, which should only take half a year now, He will get recuperation bless, and after a while this affliction is gonna go away, and then he's gonna be a dead 4 mage again. Yeah, you're not doing anything right now. I am sending 2 Shutsundoi into this province to do the same thing as here. These 2, Toru and Koichi, Toru and Koichi. They are going to go to Bandit Hills and try to take it over. Meanwhile, Yukimasa and Chumon are coming through to also move into Pitium, I think, unless this is already broken by then. Because Chumon has 3 Earth as well, he can easily just put some Strength of Giant and Legions of Steel on these guys. It should work pretty well. And then right now the expedition into the water is on hold, because we can't even afford our land forts. And I'm putting everything into more troops at the moment. Already got an upkeep of almost 1,000 there. But by taking Pitium's lands, I can afford it probably. Already took Pangea's land, so it's a very aggressive, expensive strategy to just always create armies and take the lands to support them from other people, but that's kind of how you play the game. You play to take it all over, or take all the thrones, so I don't think turtling is good in this game, and definitely not with a nation like this. Maybe with a very research heavy nation it might be viable, and in a multiplayer game against really good opponents you might have no other options. But with this it's just like, keep the momentum up, keep going, keep taking more land for more money, and keep spending the money on more troops. Alright, that's it for the video. See you next time.